Full moon in Virgo, 12 degrees. March the 3rd, 11:39 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Between the 18th of February and the 19th of March, we have the final stage of the 12-stage cycle of the Earth's orbit around the Sun. The central theme of this final month of the solar Earth cycle year is all things ruled by the Piscean archetype. Pisces is the archetype in which we return to source, where we let go of everything accumulated in the cycle of the last year, right before we begin a new cycle. Pisces rules all things the nature of merging with all that is. In its highest expression, it rules the divine heart, unconditional love and acceptance of all that is, the true guru-disciple relationship, pure love and bliss, egolessness, non-judgment, the heights of spirituality, the Divine Mother, miracles, magic, and meditation. The massive cosmic universal creative soup of all that is. It rules the seas, art, music, creativity in all its forms, Mother Nature, and how she gives and gives and gives, and forgives and forgives and forgives. Pisces rules spiritual healing and healers, the etheric and astral realms, and just generally multidimensionality, everything sparkly, dreamy, and cosmic. This is the stage of the cycle where ego constructs and self-service dissolve into a nothingness, in preparation for starting a new cycle after this stage ends. The next journey through the stages, rhythms, and rules of existence that begins in Aries on March the 20th. In the lower expression of Pisces, you find chaos, madness, addictions, escapism, laziness, and avoidant behaviours like compulsive sleeping, drug and alcohol consumption, all things and modes of being that check out and bypass actual physical practical reality. It rules deception, delusion, idealisation, disappointment, and disillusionment. In practice, Pisces can manifest in extremely selfish and destructive ways, while people go about trying to create their ideals, whilst ignoring the impact this may have on others. Switching off from the reality of the situation as wonderful as the naive, idealistic Piscean approach dreams. The fallout of the Piscean approach can lead to an almighty depression when reality hits and the dream dissolves. Pisces is the truth seeker though. So after we work through our depressions and disappointments and manage to uplift ourselves out of them by a combination of divine grace and personal effort, we are left with an even greater depth of experience, the eternal love and truthfulness we all, generally unconsciously, desire. Pisces rules selflessness and self-sacrifice. Virgo reminds us that if that's not accompanied with Virgo's discernment, victims and martyrs are made, and bad behaviour is facilitated. Jeffrey Wolf Green has much to say about this. He refers to the Pisces-Virgo axis as the victim-martyr axis. He talks about the age of Pisces being a time in which sadomasochism has prevailed, where we are in large part either abusers or abused, most likely both at different times. He argues that much of the population has a tape playing internally with the programme saying, thanks to organised religion in the form of Christianity, but no doubt other religions too, I deserve pain and suffering in order to atone for stuff that I feel guilty about. However, by beating ourselves up and accepting poor treatment from others and society, we are just disempowering ourselves, perpetuating all-round negativity. This is not the way of the divine consciousness that loves and accepts unconditionally. The universe does not judge, it just is. Does that mean we can go around treating others badly because all is forgiven? No, it's all registered on an energetic level. We carry our thoughts and deeds around with us in our personal energy bubbles, and what goes around comes around. If you are stuck on self-destruct, you stick yourself in suffering and a temporary cul-de-sac that can be unpleasant and infinitely challenging to find your way out of. But it's not a punishing God that is judging you and wants you to accept bad behaviour from others. This is low vibration stuckness that has ruled in these realms for some time. The more we come to recognise this as just a method to control the masses and keep us in lower vibrations, the more we will be able to live in the higher vibration and expression of Piscean bliss and harmony that exists potentially for us all. So let us begin to take responsibility for our own disempowerment and abuse. But don't beat ourselves up for it. This is the predicament of the human condition, in which we each contain the opposing desires of separating and returning to source, energy. Selfishness and selflessness. Temporary creative individuating ego positions, and the desire for eternal union with all that is. It is said that right up until the moment of permanent enlightenment, the ego will try to hijack and sabotage this blissful union, and acceptance that wisdom masters like Buddha term self-realization and awakening. What happens once an individual reaches this enlightenment or state of embodied truthfulness? This is the highest expression of Pisces and the ultimate cycle completion, the actual return to source whilst maintaining a body. Such beings emanate large amounts of beautiful energy. I'm not saying that the lead monk on the Walk for Peace is necessarily enlightened, but he's certainly further down the road than the average one of us. Can you recognise the quality of his energy? Beautiful energy of simplicity, service and humility. He recognises that the greatest happiness is behaving from a place where his ego is in alignment with the greater good for all. It does not manipulate to get its own selfish desires met at the expense of others, like the average ego has a tendency to do. This is the highest form of Virgo, the divine servant in service to the well-being and upliftment of all. Yes, there is self-sacrifice here, but it is not the undiscerning ego constructs that say, I'm a terrible, unworthy person that deserves pain and misery and poor treatment. The divine is infinite compassion and understanding consciousness that in this earthly experiment has given freedom to the ego to choose. So this consciousness can appreciate itself through its potential absence or contrast. Are we individually and collectively still choosing to experience absence or contrast? Or are we beginning to make more positive, aligned with all that is choices? I don't believe enlightened beings like Buddha and Jesus experienced no suffering. They just approached it differently. Shiva, who in my understanding is the great energy of Om, is called the blue throat, as he has the ability to hold poison in his neck. He can receive negativity but does not give it back out, transforms and transcends and emanates peace amidst destruction. So at this full moon in Virgo, in the month of its opposing sign of Pisces, we are being called into service. It is a particularly strong moment due to the lunar eclipse. The Pisces sun and Virgo moon are very close to the lunar nodes, lending the full moon and eclipse extra potency and direction, albeit with an ethereal, possibly for many foggy, way due to the Mercury retrograde, but a fated, grace-filled direction is there deep within us. It is a closing of an era of victim consciousness, mentality, potentially, a renewed sense of responsibility for the realities we create. Can we work on our discernment in these next 6 months? This full moon may bring us an illumination in how honing this discernment is vital. Those who don't may have to pay with victimhood or martyrdom. Why not choose another way? True healing and service to all the wonders of existence, bringing spirit to the earth, 5D to the 3D. That time is now. Make your contribution with discernment and humility, and the energy ball you walk within will bring all manner of wondrous rewards in events that are now illuminated in our inner and outer worlds.